Welcome. In pharmaceutical manufacturing, ensuring product quality and patient safety hinges on one critical factor above all others: control. Specifically, the control of contamination. Whether microbial, particulate, or cross-contamination between products, unwanted substances pose significant risks. Recognizing this, regulatory bodies worldwide, especially with updates like EU GMP Annex 1, emphasize the need for a structured, holistic approach. This approach is formalized in the Contamination Control Strategy, or CCS. So what exactly is a CCS? A contamination control strategy is a planned, documented, and dynamic system that outlines the comprehensive set of controls designed to minimize the risk of microbial, particulate, pyrogen, endotoxin, and cross-contamination in pharmaceutical products, particularly sterile ones. It's not merely a list of procedures, it's a high-level integrated strategy based on deep process and technical understanding, covering the entire life cycle of the product and manufacturing process. The core purpose is to define, justify, and link all the measures implemented, from facility design to final product testing, ensuring contamination risks are understood and consistently managed. Key pillars of a robust CCS? A comprehensive CCS doesn't focus on just one area. It integrates controls across multiple critical domains, often thought of as pillars supporting the overall strategy. Facility and utilities. This starts with the design itself: clean room classifications, appropriate air handling, HVAC, systems providing filtered air and pressure cascades, smooth, cleanable surfaces, logical layouts preventing mix-ups, and the qualification and maintenance of critical utilities like water systems, WFI, purified water, and clean gases. Personnel, people are often a major source of contamination. Controls here include rigorous gowning qualifications and procedures appropriate for the cleanroom grade, comprehensive training in GMP, hygiene, and aseptic techniques, if applicable, strict personnel health requirements, and well-defined personnel flow patterns. Raw materials and components. The strategy extends outwards to suppliers. It involves robust supplier qualification programs, controls over incoming materials, including testing, handling, and storage, and management of primary packaging components to prevent them from introducing contamination. Equipment design and maintenance. Equipment must be designed for effective cleaning and sterilization, where needed. The CCS addresses preventative maintenance programs, calibration, and validation of equipment cleaning processes to prevent carryover and microbial buildup. Process design and control. This involves designing processes to minimize contamination risk, using closed systems where possible, adopting barrier technologies like isolators or RABs, considering single-use systems, validating processes, and controlling critical process parameters that might influence microbial growth or contaminant ingress. Cleaning and disinfection sterilization. Effective, validated cleaning and disinfection programs for surfaces and equipment are essential. For sterile products, validated sterilization processes like autoclaving or filtration are critical control points within the CCS. Monitoring systems. A cornerstone of the CCS is monitoring. This includes a risk-based environmental monitoring (EM) program, sampling air and surfaces for viable microbes and non-viable particles at defined locations and frequencies. It also includes appropriate in-process monitoring to check the state of control during manufacturing. The role of risk management. Underpinning the entire CCS is quality risk management, QRM. QRM principles are used proactively to identify potential contamination hazards and sources, what could go wrong, analyze the associated risks, how likely, how severe, and evaluate the effectiveness of existing controls. The CCS documents the output of these risk assessments, justifying the selection and rigor of the control measures implemented across all the pillars we just discussed. A living document and lifecycle approach. Crucially, the CCS is not a static document created once and filed away. It must be a living strategy. It requires periodic review and updates based on ongoing performance data, information from environmental monitoring trends, process monitoring, batch deviations, internal and external audits, CAPA effectiveness checks, and any significant changes to facilities, equipment, processes, or materials must feed back into the CCS review process to ensure it remains current and effective throughout the product lifecycle. Why is the CCS so important? Implementing and maintaining a comprehensive CCS is absolutely vital. It's fundamental to protecting patient safety by minimizing contamination risks. It ensures compliance with evolving global regulatory expectations, demonstrating a state of control over manufacturing operations. It fosters a proactive, risk-based quality culture, moving beyond simple compliance to genuine process understanding and control, ultimately helping to prevent costly contamination events, batch failures, and recalls. Outcome and conclusion. A well-defined, effectively implemented, and actively maintained contamination control strategy results in a manufacturing environment that is demonstrably under control. It leads to reduced risks of contamination, ensures consistent product quality and efficacy, enhances patient safety, and provides robust evidence of compliance to regulatory authorities.